much later.
Feels a lot later. Are we drinking? I'm checking my phone. Are we drinking?
We should be.
We should be drinking.
I guess my question more so, and I guess this is a different kind of a question. You mentioned your contemporaries at the time, and from what I remember, the one thing I remember from my one of my high school teachers in advanced electronic arts was that I actually felt like I had a skill set, or at least an extreme interest in the ability to quickly learn in video production. Yeah. I made some videos. I did one where they actually used it in a auditorium gathering with the students for our grade on safety. It was like a safety video presentation, and it wasn't the main thing, but it was included. And it was me, and I got a chance. It was a chance for me to get me through my buddies out of class. I got a note to get them out of class. Yeah. We had a security guard who everyone was cool with, who's long since retired, probably from the scarring of that video. And it was one of those things people were like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Like somebody made this in our grade, and this is when videography was blowing up. People were doing videos all over the place.
So what to compare?
What he said to me was, if you're not, I said to him listen, I'm considering maybe looking into NYU film school. He said, listen, he's like, I will write you a letter of recommendation if you can emphatically tell me that you'd be perfectly fine being a starving artist till your 50s. Yeah. If never making it. Yeah. You might never make it. You might always be a starving artist in that industry. Yeah. And if you're okay with that because you love it that much for the pure art of it, he's like, then I will absolutely write you, but I don't get the feeling that that's where you're at with this unless you tell me otherwise. I said, you know what? You're right. I don't love it that much.
Yeah, it's that's something that I arrived to. I arrived to the idea that to continue, I was just going to have to, just go through hell. Yeah. And I can go through hell doing other things. Yeah. And those things just make more money. Those things have a better pay scale. They're vertical, and you can climb a ladder. Yeah. And I just always, I guess maybe a little bit where I'm at now is I assumed, I hoped that I would be in the position to get back to artwork and get back to drawing. Yeah. And become redisciplined and relearn and reteach myself. And that's a lot of what my Instagram account is all about. It's about projects and giving myself work and just keep going, and it's not really about adulation or critics or reviews or comparing myself to other people. This is me drawing for me, and I never before in my life did I ever feel like I could do that. But,
or were you doing it? You never were doing it. Yeah. You felt like you could.
Well, because my phases was I was doing it to learn. Yeah. Which was, again, painful and tough. And then you're doing it under deadlines because you are good enough to get some work. Yeah. And it still stinks. You still stink, and you're getting paid. You're getting paid to learn, but you're so critical of yourself. Because an artist will see his work differently than a lot of other disciplines. And
it's the same thing with we've had this conversation with trainers, myself included. There are many times in my life, or at least a good handful, where I looked at myself like, man, I look like shit. And people are like, dude, you look pretty good. And I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. You should have seen me 2 years ago. I looked awesome. And they're like, well, yeah, but you still look pretty good now. I'm like, no, I look like shit.
Yeah,
and they're like, what are you talking about?
It's that self-analysis. Yeah. It's this self-deprivation. Is that the right word? Deprivation.
Deprivation or deprecation?
Deprecation.
Whatever.
Decapitation. Yeah. It's that decapitation. It's that self-decapitation that you push and you just go and nothing becomes good enough. And the hard thing with that is that it creates a psychological profile where now you're projecting that onto other people. Yeah. Do you feel like there's ever a happy medium with that though? Because there are some successful people that I've met and or have had the pleasure of meeting through somebody else or even reading about, where that becomes a huge part of their success to a certain point. Like you said, it gets to a certain level where it becomes systemic at that point, and then everything starts to crumble around them because of that. But that was a driving force. Well, their success for many years. Believe it or not, I believe it's crumbled around me twice before.
Interesting.
Okay, to where I felt like I inflicted that onto other people. And definitely gave those people similar complexes that I had within myself. And it's tough. It's tough to see it. It's tough to when it comes back to bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
You know, like it comes back for revenge.
Which normally I don't mind getting bitten in the ass.
Like Jaws 2, the revenge.
Yeah.
Freddy's Revenge. All the revenges.
All the revenges are never good.
Kill Bill 2, which is technically.
You don't want to bite Uma Thurman on the ass because she will come back with a katana knife and
She will.
She'll take off limbs and all kinds of craziness. If you haven't seen the movie yet,
I've never seen the movie.
If you've never seen the movie, but you should definitely watch it.
Yeah, and you've been on, like you were there at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like you saw how that started. You saw how live the bad eats with YouTube. You were there when this type of show. So the Pete Show. Are we calling this the Pete Show? What are we calling this? Peter Show? Pete Show?
No, it's a.
Yeah, here we go. Trailer time.
Yeah.
Upcoming Pete Show. The Purple Hippo story.
Oh man. Well, we've got a few memorable stories. We've got Purple Hippo.
Purple Hippo.
We've got fighting a dude walking a dog.
Not only fighting a dude walking a dog, he was walking a Dalmatian corgi.
Yeah.
That I tried to pick up.
Yeah.
Also, because the dog was so damn cute.
Yeah. And as we were, well, all right, we'll go into that story another time.
You know what's another somewhat good story for us?
What's that?
Partying with that one waitress and her super hot mom at Drinkers.